Hi, this is Stan. Welcome back to the Crow's Nest Railroad. Well, we got some odds and ends updates this week. Alright, well, you can see the teardown of Dozer has begun, and I've got the cab here, and we're going to take a look at that in a second. I've got one more thing I've been fiddling with, and that is just this little fake toolbox gizmo that's going to go on the other side of Dozer from the air tank. I had a few little pieces and parts left over from that little air tank, so fabricated this, and that's going to go on Dozer down along the side, on the opposite side from the air tank. But anyway, I started to get this cleaned up for painting, and so let's take a look. So you can see I've got the sides all joined to the front, and all the little screw holes filled and things like that. Try to make this as seamless as I can. I also added some rivets. I don't know if I'm going to like that or not, but I thought while it was just raw wood, I'd go ahead and put these fake rivets in there just for a little decorative effect. I may have a little logo or something I can put in here in the middle. Here's a look at the front and the other side. So basically it's all smoothed out, and we're going to get ready for paint. I did add a little piece of 3/4 by 3/4 poplar. I glued that in to reinforce the joint between the sides and the front. But that's about it. This is not going to be taking much stress, so it's really a cosmetic kind of a cab. So, and as far as colors go, let's take a look at some of these. Got some burgundy, gray, machine and implement yellow. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today was this primer. It's a filler and sandable primer, automotive primer, and I've used this before on some projects where I have a wood box like this, and I want to try and hide the grain as much as I can to, you know, at first look, have it nice and smooth like a metal surface would be. Typically these locomotives wouldn't be made out of plywood. So, but I don't have a lot of metalworking equipment in the shop. And the other thing about wood is you know, it's really easy to build with, but it doesn't rattle as much as metal does, and it doesn't have that tin can resonance to it. So there are some advantages to this as long as you don't really need the durability of metal. But anyway, what I want to do is I'm going to show you a little bit of the process. I'll do some spraying on this cab to show you kind of what the filler looks like. It does require you to sand. You can't just spray the primer and then add your color coat. It demands that you do some sanding, and we'll just do an example of that. But I've got one other thing I want to show you, one other project that I've got cooking back in the yard. So here's the inside of the train barn. There you can see Dozer, and then the engineer driving car, and one other car here. And since Dozer's bigger than Rodney, there's really not room for 4 pieces of equipment in here anymore. The dog doesn't take up any extra room. So I'm having to only have these 3 pieces in here. It does give me a little room. The 4 pieces were right up against the door, and any moisture that kind of snuck under the doors during a storm or whatever would kind of get on the cars. So at least I don't have to worry about that. But let me show you my temporary solution here. Head on back to the spur here. I'd like to build another little miniature barn, not anything I could fit into, but something that a couple of pieces of rolling stock could fit into. But I can't do that right now. I've got some other things that need to be done first. This flat car, that's going to stay outdoors all the time. I really don't care. I think it was $30 worth of materials to put that flat car and deck together. I mean, the most valuable thing on that are the two trucks, but they're pretty well hidden. But this is what I came up with. I had a spare piece of plywood in the shed, and look, that's an old grab bar or a towel holder or something from the bathroom that I remodeled left over. So let me set the camera down, we'll take a look. So there you go. Basically, this little 5-plank gondola can be outdoors and at least temporarily be shielded from any adverse effects of the weather. I just don't want this to get all beat up. I don't really care about that flat car there. But this, it took me a while to put that together, and it's a nice little versatile car, and I don't want it to get beat up. So I just slammed together that old couple of pieces of plywood in the handle, and it should keep enough of the weather off that I won't worry about it until I get some sort of an enclosure built back here. Alright, I'm not going to do a full-fledged painting session today. We're just going to spray some of that primer on this one surface so you kind of get the effect of it. Let me see if I can zoom in and you can see the grain of the wood and some of the imperfections there. So this is birch plywood, and it does have little ridges on it and a significant amount of grain, not like a oak or something like that. It's pretty fine grain, but lots of little tears near the edge. And you can see some leftover little stains from the little super glue that I used to put the molding on there when I routed out the window, and some spots that have been filled in from the screws that hold things together before I glued it. So let's get some of that primer and spray it on here. Why don't we take a quick trip out to the Pinnacle Peak in Southern. We did some more track work this week. We got about 90 feet more of track laid down, and I'll give you a quick update on that while our paint's drying here. On our last track update here at the Pinnacle Peak in Southern, we were working in here, and you can see what we've accomplished. It's the end of another long day here. This has all been gauged and laid down on the ballast. It has not been leveled and adjusted. The gauge is set, but the elevation of the track and the pitch and everything has to be determined. But look at how far we've got. Started in through here, coming into the S-turn here. Beautiful curves. This has all been gauged, both rails. Coming up here by the club car. And right here, this is where the gauging stops. And we got the guide rail bent and all fitted in, all the way down to here. Well, I hope that was interesting. We made good progress yesterday, but boy, we've got a lot more track to lay, and it's going to be a long, hot summer. So I'll keep you posted as to how we're doing. Well, back to our project here. All right, well, you can see I moved it into the shade. It's the afternoon now, and I'm going to take some 220 sandpaper and get after this just a little bit. And this is one of those situations when working with wood where I'm not going to specifically try and sand with the grain. I'm going to sand across the grain. All right, finished sanding it, and just cleaned it up with a little acetone on the rag. Now, is this a perfectly smooth finish, just like metal? No, of course not. I just want it so that the first thing you see is not wood grain. But if you look with some detail, of course you're going to see it's wood underneath. I can't really help that, except maybe if I had covered the whole surface with Bondo and really done that over the whole locomotive, but I don't know, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it. I just don't want the first thing you see is big wood grain. There's going to be little dings and all sorts of imperfections in it. Not unlike a real locomotive. If you've ever walked up to a little switcher locomotive that's been worked hard, you're going to see a lot of dings and a lot of imperfections. Anyway, let's give it a little shot of yellow and see what it turns out like. Alright, well, I got a little bit of yellow on there, but I got to be honest with you. I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to put any more of this. These cans have to be the worst spray paint cans that I've had in a long time. The liquid is just oozing out all over the top of the can and dripping everywhere and sending all sorts of globs onto the paint job, and it's not because the nozzle is clogged either. So I don't want to go any further. I'm going to have to do some sanding on this. But at least I wanted you to see a little bit of the effect of the yellow on there. Again, it's not as deep a yellow as I intend, but I'm not going to go any further right now. I've got to maybe change brands of paint. I don't know. I'm going to take these back. I'm not happy with it. The first can did that, and I thought, all right, it was just a bum can. And then when the second can did the same thing, I go, I better stop now or I'm going to ruin the finish. But anyway, that's what it looks like with a coat of sandable primer. And finally, look at all these giblets. That used to be a working locomotive. Got to do some more tear down on this. And for now, I'm going to wheel this back into the shed. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this time. Hope the updates were interesting for you, and thank you so much for watching us here on the Crow's Nest Railroad. We'll see you right here next time.